Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the newest entries in the main series of Pokemon, are the first to feature a full open world. If what we've learned so far means what we think it means, this will be a monumental step forward in the Pokemon series, and hopefully turn out to be some really awesome games. I can't wait to see what the Pokemon version of Spain and Portugal has to offer. So, it would make total sense that this video about Pokemon Scarlet would be about those brand new Generation 9 games. What you would have failed to realize, if that was your thought process, is that I don't make any sense. No, today I'm talking about a different game. One that hasn't actually been made yet, and probably never will. Because today I want to talk to you about a fan game I made plans for 6 years ago and forgot about until I saw the February reveal trailer and realized it had the same name. We're not talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Today I'm going to tell you the story of Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Aquamarine versions. The story of these games goes back quite a bit, back to before the Gen 7 games, Sun and Moon, were even announced. I'd played Pokemon a lot as a kid, but after playing Diamond and Pearl into the ground, I just kinda stopped. I was going through that Pokemon is for kids teen phase, where I thought I was too old to enjoy things, and stopped paying attention to anything Pokemon related. The thing that got me back into the games was another YouTuber named TyranitarTube. I saw his Alpha Sapphire Extreme Randomizer, and it was the first time I was introduced to Pokemon mods, specifically randomizer mods, but also the first time I was really introduced to things like Megas and the Fairy type. After so long without paying attention to Pokemon, I really enjoyed it and started getting a hankering for more. I found out through more YouTube videos about things like Pokemon fan games, and I even played through the then unfinished Pokemon Insurgents, which had a pretty big impact on me. Pokemon Insurgents had a bunch of cool features, like new Megas and a crazy intense story, but the thing that completely engrossed me was the addition of Delta Pokemon. In this fan game, they were genetically altered versions of already existing Pokemon with different types, movesets, and abilities. Think about something like an Ice-Electric Gardevoir. They were sick and super original. Then, not too long after that, Pokemon Sun and Moon versions were announced. I hadn't played a vanilla main series game in a while, so I was super hyped to play a new game and relive my childhood. Generation 7 would turn out to be one of my favorite generations, despite the bad rap it gets for its long cutscenes. I loved the story and characters, as well as the region and new Pokemon introduced, but the thing that got me hyped and excited the most was the introduction of regional variants. Regional variants are Pokemon that have adapted to different environments, and as a result they've changed types and abilities. You may remember the green Grimer that's also a dark type, or the ice type Vulpix it introduced. You may see where I'm going with this. Essentially, in Generation 7, they introduced Delta Pokemon, just like in that awesome Pokemon fan game, Pokemon Insurgents. The only real difference was the explanation for the variants was a lot more on brand, which I didn't mind at all. I was stoked. I loved all of the possibilities that regional variants had to offer, and to this day, it's my favorite addition to the games ever. Being so excited for the possibilities, I started thinking, and it was then the idea for Pokemon Scarlet and Aquamarine came. I wanted to make a game where all of the Pokemon in it were regional variants. A regional variant of an entire region, if you will. The most obvious choice for it was the first region, Kanto, and I decided to go for it. The names came because I noticed that in red and blue, all of the city names were names of colors, obviously, but they were kind of niche or long color names. The kind you don't see unless you have the full 64 color box of crayons, you know? With names like Celadon, Cerulean, and Vermilion, as a kid, most of us didn't even realize these were names of colors. The games, however, were red, blue, yellow, and if you live in Japan, you also got green version. Basic, easy colors. They were almost all primary colors. So, I decided to flip that for this region. The cities are named basic colors like Orange City and Green Town, and the games, as well as the protagonist and rival, are Scarlet and Aquamarine. The Otnak region was born. Yes, I'm very good and original at designing region maps. How could you tell? I made this map entirely from scratch and definitely didn't just flip the entire map of Kanto upside down. I also definitely didn't make the region's name just Kanto backwards. Definitely not. I decided to make new characters for every major character in Scarlet and Aquamarine, like rivals and gym leaders, instead of them being alternate universe versions of the same characters. These characters were all made to be foils of their red and blue counterpart. Instead of the stoic, tough guy Brock, the first gym leader is a timid teacher who uses bug types. Instead of a well-experienced older man for the professor and his grandson as your rival, in this game the professor is a younger woman who's new and inexperienced, and her cousin is your rival. All of these characters use the same Pokemon in battle as their red and blue counterpart, but since all of them are regional variants, they turn out very differently. I'd love to go through and show you all of my gym leaders as well as well-made art for every single one of the 151 regional variants I've made, but that's just way too much art to put into one single video. So today I'm going to introduce you to the protagonists, the rival, and the professor, as well as the 3 starters and their evolutions. As we get closer and closer to the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I want to make more of these videos so that you'll get to see all of the major characters in these games, along with at least a sizable amount of the various regional variants, though I don't know if I'll be able to make all 151. I do need to warn you that I'm finishing up my associate's degree for the next month or so, and you probably won't see anything else at least until May. That said, I present to you Professor Chrysanthemum. I've decided that in this alternate universe, instead of all of the professors being named after trees, all of the professors will be named after flowers. Professor Chrysanthemum has just graduated with her professor's degree because that definitely exists in the Pokemon world. I actually have no recollection of any professors in Pokemon referring to schooling, but stay with my narrative here. And she needs some helpers to do research with her as she begins her studies as a Pokemon professor. You and your rival, who is her cousin Scarlet, are offered the choice of 3 Pokemon, and here they are. Here we have Bulbasaur, the volcano Pokemon. And, hey, wait a second, is that... Okay guys, so I have some very important information. He just sent me this crazy information that he really wants me to share with all of you guys. It's Bulbasaur with a volcano on its back, Charmander with the gills and the tail and the Squirtle. He's got like the bark shell. No, wait. I promise. Wait, no, this isn't what it looks like. I swear. Oh, you thought I was talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet leaks in that video? Think again! I never saw Violet! It was Scarlet and Aquamarine leaks the whole time! Got 'em! So, it turns out I've already shown off the Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle designs in that totally legit video I uploaded on April 1st. But today we've got types and abilities, so let's get into it. Bulbasaur is a fire and rock type. I do want to apologize to fellow Bulbasaur enjoyers. I know Fire Rock is a dumpster fire of a type. The 4 times weakness to ground and water is absolutely terrible. But listen, what else but a volcano could have gone on Bulbasaur's back? And what other type could I have given this guy? I really enjoy the design, and I think he's pretty sick. Ivysaur pretty much turned out exactly like you thought when you saw the Bulbasaur. Volcano on his back, starting to spew some smoke now, so I imagine he's got moves like Smog in his moveset and maybe Poison Gas. But as you can tell, Eruption is this guy's move of choice. And Venusaur, again, probably turned out just about exactly like you guys imagined. I think it's really sick, and I'm pretty proud of it. For the abilities like you've seen and probably expected, we've got Blaze, the ability for every fire-type starter, but for the hidden ability, we have Flash Fire. I wanted to give it Dry Skin or something like that to get rid of its 4 times weakness to water, but I don't think it would make sense for this guy to lose HP in the sun, and none of the other water-absorbing abilities work with his design either. Neither does Levitate. I really wish one of those made sense with the design. Charmander, as you can see, is our water starter. I gave him gills, and instead of a flame on his tail, he has a fin that he can use to swim. Other than that, he's just happy to be here, as you can see. And for Charmeleon, as you can see, the pink fins are pretty much the theme for this evolution line. I took Charmeleon's head spike and made it a big, fancy fin, put some more fins on Charmeleon's arms. He looks pretty cool, if I do say so myself. He'll definitely rock moves like Aqua Jet and Slash. And finally, you can see Charizard. I do want to take a moment to formally apologize to everyone who's sick of Charizard getting too much love. I know he does. I'm also kinda tired of it, but I had to make him a dragon type. I know Water Dragon is way too good of a type. I know he's no longer weak to electrics or grass types, and that messes with the starter triangle, and I know Swift Swim is going to make him into a rain sweeper, and I'm sorry, but this stuff just writes itself. I hope you like the design enough to forgive me. Last, but certainly not least, we have Squirtle. This cutie now has a bark shell and a grass tail, and he's adorable. Not much else to say. Wartortle is starting to have more of a turtle-like shell, but as you can probably tell, it's going to have bark on it all the way through the evolution line. This guy is definitely getting Razor Leaf early game, and probably Seed Bomb late game, though I could be convinced to give him Leaf Blade. I also think that even though it doesn't get same type attack bonus, I might let him get some ground moves like Bulldoze and maybe later Earthquake. And finally, we have Blastoise. Again, there's not too much to talk about. He's a green Blastoise with bark on him. The cannons are completely made out of wood, as you can see, and I've decided he shoots seed bombs out of them. Also, along with Overgrow as his regular ability, as expected, he has Chlorophyll as his hidden ability. Not sure if he's fast enough to make that super useful, but I think he could be pretty good in the sun. Maybe I'll give him powders and make him do what Venusaur does now. Who knows? So, there you have them. The full starter roster for the Ottenac region, along with the professor, protagonists, and starters. Stay tuned for more about Pokemon Scarlet and Aquamarine. I probably won't be able to post any more this month or the beginning of May, since finals are coming up, but this summer I'm going to get on the grind and show you guys more of the awesome designs I'm cooking up for the gym leaders and other major characters. I just have one more question for you guys before I go. Aquamarine is the player character alternate version of Red, and Scarlet is the rival and alternate version of Blue. But the female protagonist, who doesn't actually appear in the Red and Blue games, but is named Green in Let's Eevee, will have an alternate version in this game. Here he is. Since his name needs to be a more quote-unquote complex version of Green, I'm trying to come up with a name for him. The name I've been using is Forest, but I don't really like colors where the name is also something else. I can't think of any other good ones though. The only one I can even remotely like is Olive, but again, that's something else. So what do you guys think this guy's name should be? Let me know in the comments. So, that's what I have today. If you like this stuff, subscribe to the channel. maybe hit the like button or something, I don't know, and stay tuned for more. Next video I'm planning on showing off some early route Pokemon and Brock and Misty's alternate universe variants, so stay tuned. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.